Hello, it is Kim. I am here for our live at 5 with me, and I have coffee in the tippy cup. Yeah, that's a two-handed cup. Anyway, I took a picture of coffee and then I wanted to put it in a pretty mug, and then it's in the tippy mug. Anyway, so welcome to Live with Me. Whatever your thoughts, questions, concerns, details, whatever you want to talk about, I am here for it. Today, I was trying to film a cook for the week video. I have not reviewed the footage yet. A few times I noticed my phone was doing weird things, so we'll see what kind of footage we have. But basically, I made banana bread for breakfast, chicken salad for lunch. I tried to do like a wrap with cottage cheese wrap, and I forgot. I was like, it's not quite done. I'll put it back in the oven for a second, and then it was more than a second. So a little burnt on that. And then I did a sweet and sour pork for dinner. The sweet and sour pork looks like it came out exceedingly well. So that's exciting. And I made some cauliflower rice with it. So that is my dinner for the week. So yeah, so doing that up because people ask a lot about what you eat in a day kind of stuff. So that's a week's worth of food that I made. And yes, I did make banana bread with banana. It's still a low carb bread, but you can make the same bread with pumpkin. So if you want a lower carb bread, it is the same as Nancy, if you go on my website, there is a pumpkin bread recipe. It's a protein pumpkin bread, and it's the same recipe, except you use banana instead of pumpkin. I use 225 grams of banana instead of as there's more pumpkin. So I might tinker with that a little bit because I thought it was a little dry. I'll show you. I took a picture of it. So this is how the banana bread came out. I put a few chocolate chips in it and some nuts, so you can see. This is like a third of a piece. Was a bigger piece. This is the remains of what was from the picture. So you can see it looks, I think, pretty good. But I feel like it could have been a little moister. I might have cooked it just a little bit long, so I might experiment with a little bit more. But yeah, smells like banana bread. So so that it's pretty close to the pumpkin protein bread recipe. And I don't have the keto chow pumpkin bread, not pumpkin bread, banana bread. There we go. The keto chow banana bread protein powder. So that might be a good one to use with it. I used instead just a cinnamon kind of snickerdoodle one because it has pumpkin bread. I just it's like one of those things where like every other word of my mouth will be pumpkin bread for some reason. A protein powder. So the breakfast that I sort of was showing was a big piece of the banana bread, and that's why I have the pretty latte here. The latte, and that was a 30-gram protein breakfast kind of thing. And I think it came out to like 20 total carbs with the milk and protein milk, but it has some carbs, and then the banana bread had bananas. So it's not going to be a zero carb kind of thing, but it's a low carb rather than full keto. So that's what I did there. And yeah, and then the lunch was really low carb. So that's certainly very keto, which was I've shared this recipe before, but my chicken salad, and it's just chicken breast, yogurt, mayonnaise, herbs and spices, dill if you got some, chopped up pickle, chopped up egg, hard-boiled egg, and chopped up celery. And then for dinner, it's pork chops that I cubed, made a sweet and sour sauce, and then peppers and onions. And that is, it's not high carb, because all the stuff I used in the sauce is sugar free. And if you can tolerate a few more carbs, you can throw in a little bit of pineapple for authenticity, but you can skip that one. So that was what I got for dinner. So, and it made enough that I've got food all week. Corrine asked, is it Corrine or Corinne? Anyway, do you know any Dutch baby recipes using keto chow? Great question. I have been trying to experiment a little bit with some Dutch babies because I made Yorkshire pudding for Christmas and I really liked it. And a Dutch baby's not that different. They're cousins, right? And so I've been trying thinking of it. I did one attempt and I gotta say I did not like it. I overdid the egg whites or something and it was dry as heck and I did not like it. So I'm going to work on it. But I think there are Dutch baby recipes out there on the internet. So you could just Google Google keto Dutch baby and then try it with some keto chow. I didn't get the banana bread, but I did get the donut flavor um keto chow recently. The cake donut, I think it is called. And wow, is that spot on cake donut flavor? There's a very hard to define flavor of cake donuts. It tastes just like them. And I've been making pancakes with that and it's been delicious. So anyway, Nancy says Maria has a Dutch baby recipe. So Maria Emmerich, there is only one Maria. Uh let's see. Magic Beans, hey Ukiah, how's it going? All right. All right. First one. Shoot, now which one did I say first? Corinne. That's what I said first. Yeah, I think. Okay, tell her say wrong if it's not Corinne. Um Nancy says, "Did you say cottage cheese wrap with a chicken salad?" Yes, super easy to do cottage cheese wrap. You just throw 220 grams of cottage cheese. I like Good Culture in the blender or the food processor with an egg. And then you add some spices if you want, like some uh, whatever, everything bagel seasoning. You can add some Italian seasoning, whatever you want to spice it with. And you just blitz it until it's smooth. You want a quarter sheet pan for that much stuff. If you double that recipe, you can do, well, you have to like double in a little bit or else it's a little thin, but you can do a half sheet pan I throw in an extra egg and like an extra couple tablespoons of cottage cheese. But if I've got like the quarter sheet pan, the ones that are about this big, and the ones that fit in the air fryer. And so parchment, pour the batter out, smooth it flat. You can smack it down a few times to get it flat. You want to make sure you're not seeing parchment through it. It wants to be very thin, but you don't want to see parchment. And then you bake that 350, 40 minutes or so. Keep an eye on it. I burned mine a little bit. That's really easy. You can just Google cottage cheese wrap. You're going to find a recipe very similar to that. And yeah, so that makes two enough for like two sandwiches worth. I make a lot more. I don't always put it in a wrap, but that's what I do. Yeah. So hey, David, and what else is going on? Yeah, that's it. I just was cleaning up the kitchen. You can see how messy I am. See how everything gets like that. I dripped water on it, crunchiness, right? Those are my notes that I had with me in the kitchen. Uh, Nancy, 220 grams cottage cheese. By the way, that's about a cup of cottage cheese, in case you need to know. An egg, spice of choice, blend till smooth, quarter sheet pan, parchment paper, pour in. Yep, 350, 40 minutes, something like that. It takes longer than you think it will. Like it'll form in like 20 minutes, but you kind of want it a little crispy around the edges. You don't want it burned. So keep an eye on it, but I think 40 minutes is what it needs. Like I said, you can do a half sheet pan and double that. But I find it's just a little bigger, so you need to like double and a quarter. You just get a little extra. And so what I'll often do if I'm doubling it is I'll do 3 eggs instead of 2 eggs. So I'll add one extra egg. Thanks, Amy. And that it's not a hard recipe. It's a very simple recipe. And so, like I said, Google, you'll see like 20 recipes that all are basically the same thing. Some cottage cheese, an egg, blend, pour, spice. So yeah, Teal, I'm lost. It's not starting today, Teal. It's starting on the 26th. I know what happened, Teal. You signed up before the course officially opened. So you actually got the information from last year, which started on the 14th. This year it starts on the 26th. I will email you after this call and we will figure out how to get you on the right track. But the course is actually starting the 26th, not today. That would be mean of me. No worries, Teal. You know what? I saw your enrollment come in and I thought she's early. And then I was like, I should check in with her. And then it fled my brain. So my apologies, but I will get back to you. Rita says, does it taste eggy? I did not notice it tasted eggy. Certainly not 1 egg to 1 cup of cottage cheese, which is about 220 grams. Not eggy. Kind of tastes like, I mean, not eggy. It's a cottage cheese. And when you get it a little crispy around the edges, you know, it's kind of a neutral thing. And so it tastes like whatever you put in it. So, you know, I had egg salad, which was spiced, and I like a little tomato on my salad. And then I put, what else? I would have put a little pickle on there, but I ran out of pickle. There's a little pickle in the egg salad. And so I like on a sandwich pickles, red onion, very thinly sliced, and a little tomato. That's what I like. But when I put that stuff on it, the wrap tasted like nothing. It's just kind of there. It's just helpful. Corinne asks, have you tried egg white miracle noodles? I have. I did not dislike them, but I didn't love them. What was my issue with them? What was my issue with them? They didn't taste overly eggy, but there was sort of a texture, an egg white texture. So I was chewing them. I prefer the It's Skinny Noodles Konjac noodles, which are my favorite brand of noodle. The brand is It's Skinny Noodle. It's Skinny. And I get them on Amazon, and I just keep them in the cabinet because they keep, and they don't have, you know, I think a bag of the egg white noodles has like 45 grams of noodle. Is it 45? Anyway, it has something like it has some number of grams of protein. I can't remember now. How many is it? Like 10, 15? Anyway, so there's more protein in the egg white noodles for sure, but I usually am putting with something with meat in it. So I did not dislike them, but I have not reordered them. I'll say it that way. I'm very happy with my It's Skinny noodles, which those are a little different than Miracle noodles. So Konjac is hold on, I need a little wet my whistle. Okay, so Konjac is a yam fiber. It's from root vegetables. I think it's a type of yam. But it's just the fiber of the yam. It's not high carb. Hold on, I'll grab my It's Skinny noodles. Hold on. So you can still hear me probably because I have my little earbud in. But so Konjac is this yam fiber, and it's not digestible. You can't digest it, which means drink water when you eat it. But this is the It's Skinny. So I get a variety pack, and this is the angel hair. So in the variety pack, you get some fettuccine. I think it's like 2 fettuccine, 2 spaghetti. The spaghetti are actually my favorite shape. And then some angel hair, and then usually like 1 orzo. They write really small, so I have to put my reading glasses on here. So this is what's inside. So this is angel hair, so you can see it's pretty small, and there is some liquid in here, but it doesn't smell bad. That's Miracle noodles smell bad. This one doesn't. So you can just drain this, and it's good to go. Ready to go. So that's what you got in here. So you can see, you know, how much it is. It's a very decent serving if you have this whole thing. If you've never had Konjac noodles before, start with half. Sometimes it gives people like a little bit of a, I can't digest this feeling in their stomach. So this is technically 2 servings, but I have certainly done the whole thing on a plate before. By the way, that goes away. Your body figures out what to do with these. Um, okay. So, so I'm just going to give you information for the whole thing because I know you and you'll eat the whole thing because that's what I would do. 9 calories, nine. No grams of fat, no grams of protein. Uh, Even with the glasses, it's a challenge. I think that says 3 grams. It either says 2 or 3. It's 2. 2 grams of carb. No, that's half the bag. Sorry, 4 grams of total carbs, 4 grams of fiber for the whole thing. So 4 grams, four, and 4. It's all fiber. So one thing about these noodles compared to Miracle Noodles, which is why some of you might prefer Miracle Noodles, the ingredients on this is konjac powder, which is that fiber, and then there's a little bit of oat powder, which is what helps the texture. If you're somebody that will not do oat in any quantity, I mean, it's a sprinkle, right? Because it's not adding to the total carbs really. So it has a little bit of oat powder in it, then water, it's citric acid. So that's what's in here. So if you're like, I'm uncomfortable with a trace amount of oat flour in here, then go for the Miracle Noodles. But I think that's why the texture is so much better on these than the Miracle Noodles. And I don't know why, but they don't have a smell. I think Miracle Noodles took away the smell too. So what I got a question here. What can you tell me about the konjac noodles? So it's like I said, it's a fiber. And so they use it to make these little noodles. And like I said, it's the kind of fiber you cannot digest. So it just goes through your system. You should not be seeing them on the way. I don't want to be gross, but you should be able to digest them enough that it's not like you're producing them. But it kind of goes through your system a little slower for some people. So it can actually be really filling because it digests a little slower because your body has to really work to break down the fiber. And so sometimes that, like, I mean, you know about this from like GLP-1s, right? That when we slow the digestion a little bit, you're less hungry. And so they're a great hunger killer. And so I love them when I'm like, I'm having a really hungry day. I'm going to put the Miracle Noodles in my dinner somehow. So you can make, any kind of stir fry and throw these in, and it works great. I've done it with tomato sauce and all that. I do think konjac noodles work a little bit better as like a ramen type thing than they do as a uh, red sauce kind of thing, but I don't mind it at all. It's just it's more of an al dente texture a little bit. Let's see what else. But so yeah, so they're just, like I said, it's a new food and it's all fiber, and not everyone does well with a lot of fiber. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's, all fiber. So start the first time you have one, have half, and then see how you do. If that is fine, then you can go to the full bag. But I wouldn't do like multiple bags in a day. There are some accounts of some crazy people doing like eating like on crazy diets where they couldn't have any calories and they'd eat like 4 bags a day. That's a little much for your system to handle. So the nice thing about the konjac noodles is that they're 2, or so grams of carbs. They're really low carb, so they're really good for keto. They will absorb flavors pretty well. So they're a great way to have a noodle without all the carbs. People are asking, how do they compare with the Hearts of Palm noodle? I'm a big fan of the Hearts of Palm noodles. I like Hearts of Palm noodles, but they have their own flavor. Now, Hearts of Palm are one of my favorite foods. So I love them in like an Asian kind of stir fry thing, but certainly they have a flavor. And so if I want like the konjac noodles flavorless. So if I want something to taste like whatever sauce I'm making, then I do the konjac noodles. But sometimes I throw some Hearts of Palm noodles into a stir fry to add to the flavor of the stir fry. So I'm also a fan of those. Hearts of Palm noodles are higher carb than konjac noodles. Still low carb. Jenny says, I made some noodles with just 2 egg yolks and a cup of pizza cheese. Very good. Yeah, some cheese noodles can be very tasty. Magic Beans, can you send me a new link to register? I can't get in using the okay. So I will grab that for you, and I will send something out to everybody that enrolled in Keto Unstuck. So Keto Unstuck is my lose weight again course. I'll say it that way. So it's, hey, I've been trying to lose weight or keep my head on straight or, whatever. And it's not going as well as I would like. And I need some help to figure out what's gone wrong and how to make it right and then how to see success again. And so that's what the course is about. We start on January 26th, which is the last Sunday in January. And then it runs for 12 weeks and we work together to get you sorted out. And I will work with each one of you as much as I need to get you all sorted. And we'll have Q&As and there'll be lessons. And so it's a fun time, gets your head on straight. We'll have a couple of people that are returning to the class and some new people, and it'll be fun. So I will be getting all of you straightened out. If you're interested in the course, it's on my website. I'll also put a link in here for anybody after the show. Corinne is asking, pizza cheese meaning grated Parmesan? Yeah, what do you mean by pizza cheese? I don't know what you mean. Mozzarella? Do you mean I think you might mean mozzarella. So yeah, but if you're on my website, kimhowardson.com, you can find the course under courses, but I'll also put a link here after we're done with today's call. So that is what's been going on for me today. Mostly a lot of chaos. But what else is new? And Jenny said, yes, what you just said. So Parmesan, mozzarella. There we go. Words are a funny thing. I was thinking about that. I just popped into my head. No one in Italy calls mozzarella, or they don't call prosciutto, prosciutto. But if you are from the East Coast of not the East Coast of California, the East Coast of the United States, that's what they call them, mozzarella and prosciutto. So there's a whole regional language situation that often happens. So anyway, and that was really about nothing but the thought in my head in the moment. Anyway, so I'm here in Northern California, which is not where the fires are happening. The fires are happening in Southern California. But those of you that are keeping abreast of that, I did put up a post earlier this week. One of my very favorite people, who's a client, a keto person, she's turned around her type 2 diabetes. She's lost over 200 pounds. She's become a personal trainer because she loves exercise so much now that she's in a body that can do it. Her house burned down. So I have her GoFundMe on my page, The Ketonist, on Facebook. And if any of you feel the desire to make a contribution, that is there for you to do so if you want to. And if you cannot, or if it does not feel right to do so, that is fine as well. Just letting you know it's there. And you should know who Lisa is because she's amazing. So she started her fitness journey by watching Dr. Barry while she walked on the treadmill. So, we all start somewhere. And now she's a personal trainer. So there you go. All right. Well, what other questions do people have today? I'm happy to answer whatever you might have to ask. We had a lot of good questions coming in fast and furious. They've slowed down now. So, all right. So that might be a great time to wrap it up for today. Oh, Sybil says, I tried the konjac noodles. They made me sick, and I usually have a cast iron stomach. Interesting. So once or twice, I have noticed that I have the heavy feeling in my stomach after I've eaten them, but I got used to them, and then they never felt that way again. But Sybil, did you have a lot or just a little? But again, being aware, if somebody has gastroparesis, which is a disorder where their stomach doesn't digest very well, I would not recommend konjac noodles. They're just so slow to digest. Nancy, where do you buy them? You can buy the Miracle noodles I've seen at Whole Foods. I've seen other brands at Whole Foods or Sprouts. There's a brand called Levivia. I think it's lots of L's and V's and A's. I think it's called Levivia, something like that. And it's a konjac noodle. I've seen that at Sprouts. And that one's pretty good too. I've seen the Miracle Noodles at Sprouts. I've seen, oh no, they made you vomit. Oh, yeah. So some people, they don't digest well. So start slow. Um, and then, uh, and then Nancy, as with always, you can order all of these things. So It's Skinny, the brand I get, I order them on Amazon. But those are the main places. I'm sorry about that, Sybil. That's not your friend. All right. What else I'm just thinking, is there anything else we need to cover tonight? I think that might be it. On that note, everybody feel bad for Sybil. That's unfortunate. But we will, no, I don't like throwing up. That's a terrible feeling. So that's what we got for this week. I'll be back next week with more info that you might have questions about. If you're watching this on the replay, hello. If you would like the video, that would be awesome. Subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. And put in questions in the comments that I'll start with next week by answering the questions that are left in the comments. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.